Okay guys, we are back with Xdefiant, and I wanted to bring some updates and kind of currently where I'm at with some of the research on what's next for Xdefiant. And to no surprise, there's been little to no information. But what we did get today was a release of new content for Xdefiant coming in form of a new bundle. And with that bundle being released, there's been a lot of negative reviews on it, and it kind of fell in line with a recent video, which was kind of, the issues revealed for Xdefiant, the problems. And within that video, a lot of people have commented on it and were kind of in line with my opinions. And I just want to make it clear that my opinions are not to be pressed on anybody. Everybody should comment about their own experience. And I will say that there's a lot of people commenting on how good how good the game is and how well they're enjoying the game, and they're not really dealing with a lot of problems. But the vast majority had kind of highlighted their issues, and I really want to bring that to light because the Xdefiant team really do check the comments, and we're getting a lot of comments, and they check for feedback from the community, and that's all I want to bring: the good, the bad, and the ugly. Before we break down this information, if you are a new or a returning viewer, consider hitting the sub, hit the like, get involved in the comments, let me know your experiences, if you're enjoying it, if you're not enjoying it, if you have no problems, if you have problems. I really want to know, because I think the feedback would be great for the team over at Xdefiant, because I want this game to succeed, and I would really appreciate it, because everybody deserves a voice, and I want to voice those opinions through this channel. Anyway, with that being said, the information that we got. Now, I want to say, with the information that we got, I was a bit surprised to kind of see how negatively reviewed this was, and I'm going to share that on the channel. And also I want to compare it to some of the leaks that came out on Black Ops 6. Now, with that being said, I know you're going to say, Glenn, I think we just covered Xdefiant, but I do think there's a comparison there, and I will circle back to that. So what we did get was a release of the latest bundle. And you might recognize this bundle, that some of these kind of visuals are already in the battle pass, but now they're charging for the remaining factions. They're charging a considerable price for it. People have jumped on and said, meh, game is dead. I don't give a flying F about the bundles. Actually improved the game. Bundles are overpriced anyways. And it just keeps going on from here. Stop playing trash games and play Delta Force. Still full of cheaters. More bundles every other week, but won't fix anything that's killing the overall game. Also, the game is not maintained with skins alone. The current problems need to be fixed and more content added. To fix the netcode and hit registration, didn't think so, hard pass. Also, hit registration fix when, so we get similar skins to the battle pass for other characters, but we want to charge crazy amount of prices. I'll pass, and after playing the game for 9 hours, I still will say that there's many issues, but still have more fun than COD. I'll be able to play this game for a lot longer than I do on COD. Now, the reason I bring up the Call of Duty thing is because as much as we're dogging on it, and as much as we're kind of really, battling up for a fix and some just insight on how they're going to improve the netcode, are they going to, really fix the hit registration? Are they going to stop the desync? What's going to happen? How are they going to bring players back that have kind of fell off? Because it seems like a lot of players have just left the game. Let's be honest, I'm only going off the feedback that the public are giving on these social platforms, and you can go over and check them yourself. So I wanted to add in some of the leaks from Black Ops, and I just wanted to give my thoughts on this as well, because some of these leaks are absolutely insane, and it kind of makes me feel like maybe the movement isn't that bad, especially if any of these leaks are to go off. Now, what we see here is another shotgun. This just pulls me in towards zombies. I don't know why this would be in the multiplayer aspect, but I have to be really honest, it is pretty cool. But it's not the Call of Duty that I think people really want to see. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Look, you can see here, the game looks polished. It looks absolutely amazing. I think the sniper looks absolutely sick. But at the same time, you're gonna have to pay a lot of money for these, and this is where they make hand over fist on the players. And at the end of the day, when these bundles do get released in Call of Duty, they usually pay to win bundles. Let's be really honest, especially when you go into, Warzone, and then they nerf them after a while, and then they bring out a new bundle that's going to be OP, and then they nerf that. So it's a continuous cycle for you to pay more and more and more over the standard price of $89.99 or $100 or euros. Then we move on to this movement. Now, this is what got me. Like, why? Like, this is just so far off an experience. How can you put your sensitivity up so high where the movement is so unrealistic and your reaction time is just beyond humanly possible? Like, that's what does it for me. I've always said that about games. Like, there should be, a sensitivity cap where you can move to a certain limit, which just balances the game out and allows you to have that, but they're never going to do that. But this just would turn me off multiplayer. Also, this is insane as well. Like, this combined with the Omni movement just gives me the ick for multiplayer. Now, I know people are going to clam on and say skill issue. Look, bro, that's not a skill issue. That is just insane. Like I'd actually take an epileptic fit looking at that. I'm not even going to lie. Like, that, I cannot look at that and say that player's enjoying it. Like, I really can't, because all they're looking at is like, look how good I am. And that's great, but like, that's just... it just takes away the heart of what Call of Duty used to be for me. But then I come back on, you see the aesthetics in, you know, Xdefiant. And now, here I am, circling it back. The reason I say this is because look at the level of movement that's in that. Now, I'm sure there's players in Xdefiant that have their sensitivity cranked up all that way and move like that. But, like, it's not as bad as what I've come across. And I think that, like, the game as a whole, compared to Xdefiant, like, I think Black Ops is just a reskin of the last Modern Warfare 3. Like, the UI is the exact same. You know, they're bringing prestige mode, they're bringing all these things back, but like, there's a lot of people out there saying like, it looks like a reskin. The UI, not even updating that, small tiny changes, but it's basically just going to be under the Call of Duty HQ hub, and they're going to stick with that. Now, why am I comparing this? It's just because they're in the exact same space. And as much as I think that Call of Duty is moving from just what I seen there, the new Black Ops coming out is insane. Like, will the in-game have the issues that Xdefiant are going to have? And that's where the problems follow. Because if the game is anyway half decent, which it usually is on release before they start releasing Warzone and all the bundles and the pay-to-win shit that comes out with it, and the nerfs, and then a new bundle and the nerfs again, as I just said, I do think that if you're having such a bad time with this game, these are the options out there for you, especially with Delta Force. I've seen Delta Force, it looks actually really good. It's also free to play as well. And also, like, you look at that and then you've got more options available to you. So that's where stuff is going to come into play. Like, people are going to have issues with kind of Xdefiant, they're going to be pissed off, and then all of a sudden you've got these two other options out there. And that's where it can get really, really bad for Xdefiant. And then it's just a bigger uphill battle for the game to pull back players that probably did enjoy it and probably see themselves playing it for a lot longer than they intended to, but now they're just going to cut it off. So, you know, you got to really understand the field that you're in and the state that your game is in. And overall, I think they need to come out with some sort of statement, some sort of update on where they're at with the hit reg. Even if it's not coming out for a couple of weeks, they need to come out with where they're at with the hit reg, where they're at with the netcode, where they're at with the high ping lobbies, because they're still rampant, and then the kind of input matchmaking is insane as well. And I think that they need to give the player base a real explanation of where they're at. Now, it's all good, you know, fixing ranked, but ranked isn't even that fixed. There's a lot of stuff is coming for season 2 at the end of season 1, so there's still big issues in ranked. So the game is in a mess, and if you're a hardcore Xdefiant fan, I appreciate that. I'm a fan of the game as well, but you have to be honest about the state of the game. And if we're not honest, games will not get fixed, and they'll constantly get worse or just drop off entirely. That's where I'm at right now, and that just made me feel like, you know what, us here on this channel, people who are commenting, we're not alone. There is also people just chammering on social media about, just give us an update. When is the fix coming? Give some sort of update. So hopefully they see this. Let me know down in the comments. They do read the comments from what I've been told. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings, any questions that you have that you want to put to the team that I can share it on this channel. Maybe it gets to their ears, I don't know, but it's worth a try. Guys, that is all for me, and I'll catch you on the next one.